Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another night of CCRL Pro Tier. I am the Johnny Damon, and I will be doing your commentary tonight. The Pro Tier drivers will be taking on the 5.412 kilometer, or 5.278 kilometer, 14 corners and 4 DRS zone circuit at Albert Park Circuit in Australia. I am looking forward to seeing the action that comes about tonight with these Pro Tier drivers. Just a little recap of last weekend. We saw LB the GOAT take the victory with Feeney finishing in second and Silos in your top three. Those were your podium finishers. Now we'll just go through the driver standings real quick. LB the GOAT is sitting on top with Feeney right behind him, 7 points. Silos is in third. You got Mr. Miller fourth, Comacopa fifth, Cello in sixth, Raptor KK seventh, LK in eighth, ninth is Matthew, and Bonget wraps out your top 10 in the point. Peak Hour is in 11th, IRZ 12th, GC Adventure in 13th, Earth in 14th, Osmanian Devil in 15th. You have the Boonster in 16th, Like Me or Not 17th, Patty Cake in 18th, TMM Racing in 19th, and the Natural rounds out the grid. In regard to the constructor standings, after last week we see Mercedes at the top of the board with 43 points. Haas followed right behind with 39. Red Bull in third with 37. Aston Martin fourth with 28. Alpine and the Racing Bulls are tied for P5 with 23 points. Ferrari in 7th with 14. Williams with 12 points. In 8th, McLaren's got 10. In 9th, and unfortunately Sauber did not collect a point in the Pro Tier last week. But as the cars are coming out onto the circuit, we look like we have a dry qualifying for the time being. And jump on board with the McLaren of Osmanian Devil. He is the first car on the circuit making his way through Sector 2. And this is a double DRS zone from turn 7 all the way down to turn 11. So the detection point will be in the middle between turn 6 and 7 of the fast chicane. And then that will be your detection point for the second DRS zone into turn 11. Making our way through turns 12, 13, and then 14. You have the detection point for the start-finish straight that also carries into the DRS zone down into turn 3. That is also another double detection. It looks like we have some folks kind of struggling through turns 13 and 14, but on board with Osmanian Devil as he's really nicely through turns 1 and 2. Got that DRS flap wide open, making that run into turn 3. Breaks at about the 100-meter board. Gets down into third gear. Swings that car back to the right-hand side of the track through turn 4. Now turn 5. Gonna carry as much speed as he can through sector 1. Into turn 6 and 7. The really fast chicane that's now gonna lead him down this very long straight here as he dives into turn 9. Got that rear wing flap wide open. We're going to see his top speed here in just a moment. He's going to be at about 201 miles an hour, 44.8 through 2 sectors. Made his way off of turn 10 and now making his way into turn 11, heavy on the brakes all the way down into 4th gear. Back on the throttle super early into turn 12. Off the exit he goes, does not use any of the curb, very easy to lock up going into turn 13. Now he's got a very, very loose section of the track of turn 14, opens up that DRS flap, making the run towards the line and comes across with a provisional pole of a 117.8. Looks like we got the Mercedes of Silos who's given the Red Bull a tow all the way down to the line. And that's going to be LB the GOAT up top with Silos coming in third with a 118 flat. LK right behind him with a 118.9. So not a lot of space given from those folks. We got an invalidation from GC Adventure. So he is going to be looking to start another lap here. Actually, quite a bit of folks here are all just getting ready to start a lap. Bonget comes across with a 118.5. Comacopa with a 118.8. Peak Hour 119.3. Jump down onto GC Adventure, still invalidated, so very unfortunate for him as he's making his way through Sector 1, Turn 3, and Turn 4. On board with the Natural as he just started his first flying lap of the qualifying session off the exit of Turn 2, opens up that DRS flap and makes the run down into Turn 3. Gonna brake just around the 100-meter board, down to third gear, swings back to the right-hand side of the circuit through Turn 4 into Turn 5 now. Very fast right-hander here. Gonna carry as much speed through Sector 1 split with a 27 flat down into 5th gear through 6 and 7. Now he's making his way through Turn 8, the very long straight here, DRS straight into Turn 9. Got quite a bit of traffic in front of him. The Red Bull, oh, and some contact made right there. Very unfortunate for Natural as he was trying to put down a lap and got into the back of Raptor KK. That is going to give Raptor a 5-place grid penalty. Very unfortunate for him. Just riding on board with the Haas Affini, your second place finisher from last week, making his way through Turn 3 and 4. He's now going to carry as much speed as he can off the exit of 5. That's got the straight right in front of him through Sector 1 split with a 26.7. So he is flying right now off the exit of Turn 7. He's going to carry as much speed, opens up the DRS flap. Now he's heading towards Turn 9. Probably the fastest chicane on the entire circuit. And he's going to swing that car back to the right side through the left-hander and the right-hander of Turn 9 and 10. Opens up that DRS flap heading into Turn 11. He's going to get heavy on the brakes around the 50-meter board. Probably about 75 meters at the braking point there into Turn 11. Now going through Turn 12 into the very tough braking section of Turn 13. Off the exit of 14, you can actually lose the back end of the car here through Turn 14. He's going to head towards the start-finish straight. Where does he put himself? At the top of the board with a 116.9. So track evolution starting to really come into play. Osmanian Devil a half a second up on his time. CeeLo's 4/10 up on his time as he's going to come across. Is he going to be able to improve? He does, but not enough to jump up the board. We got Mr. Miller making his way through Sector 1 right now. GC Adventure rounding off of Turn 14. He's heading towards the start-finish straight. Gonna go down into the inside and let's... Who is this? I want to say that was LK by him. Or it might have been... yeah, I think it was LK. No, it was not. Sorry. Peak Hour up 2/7 with a 118.8. So a good lap from him. Jump on board with Like Me or Not and the kickstart Sauber as he's making his way into Turn 11, heavy on the brakes all the way down into 4th gear. Tries to avoid the wheel spin off the exit, now making his way through Turn 12 into the braking zone of Turn 13. Got the 100 meters until he opens up that DRS flap off the exit of 14. Got very long straight as he makes the run down to the start-finish line. Looks like he's going to burn the battery now. And he puts himself inside the top 10 here to start his day at qualifying, and again gets immediately bumped down into 11th place as another driver, Mr. Miller, has jumped up into the P5 position. So let's go through here as Abdul's coming across the line. He's going to put himself at a 118.9 flat, or 118.990. Natural is currently starting his outlap. He did have some wing damage for making some contact with Raptor KK. I believe that was them two. So he is getting ready to now work on putting down his first flying lap. Mr. Miller is currently not on a lap. Bonget is starting his lap, heading down into Turn 1, up to north about 200 miles per hour. Into the braking zone of Turn 1. Opens up the DRS flap after the exit of Turn 2, making a run into Turn 3. Brakes just about the 100-meter board all the way down into 3rd gear. He's now making that left-hander off Turn 4. Swings back to the right-hand side, or left-hand side through Turn 5. And he's making his way through Turn 6 and 7. Around turn 8, he's got the long straight in front of him. Opens up the DRS flap, making a run down into turn 9 we go. Is he going to top 200 miles an hour? Yes, he does. 201, nearly 203 miles an hour going into turn 9. And he's got a great exit here as he's going to try and carry all that speed into turn 11. Does he have any sort of improvement on his time? I did not see through the Sector 2 split as we're heading into turn 12 now. 2 more corners to go, and he's looking like he's got that car dialed in to be awfully stable. DRS flap is about to open off the exit of 14, and he's making his run towards the start-finish line now. Comes across the line with improvement, enough to put him in the second row with his teammate of Osmanian Devil at a 117.6. Natural jumps up into the P8 position. Komakopa is making his way through Sector 1. Not sure if he is currently on a lap, but he does have that overtake on, so he is burned just about all of his battery. Opens up that DRS flap, and he's going to continue to make his run in towards turn 9. Not topping out much in speed. He's at 193 and cuts completely across the chicane. Was not very impressed with himself, so he decided to take avoided action and just cut the grass. Raptor KK making his way through Sector 1 split. Now he's coming through Sector 2 as we speak off the exit of turn 8. Got that DRS flap wide open now. Where is he going to top out speed-wise? 193 miles an hour right now. Into turn 9, Sector 2, he had 58 thousandths of a second up. Off the exit of turn 10. Long run down into turn 11 we go. He's going to break at about the 50-meter marker. All the way down, or I'd say 75 meters there for turn 11. Making his way through turn 12 and 13 and 14. Off the exit of the penultimate corner we go. One more corner and then he's got the straight in front of him. Using that battery, opens up the DRS flap, heading towards the line. Is he going to get any sort of improvement? 4/10 improvement, moves him up into 9th place for the time being. So great lap by him. Osmanian Devil making his way through Sector 3 now. He's into turn 11 we go. Couple more corners to go off of turn 12 and into the braking zone of turn 13. And here we go off of the final corner we are. He's got a Red Bull in front of him, not close enough to get a tow, but he is going to make that run towards the line. And he comes across 2/10 improvement, jumps him up into the P2 position, about 2/10 off the back of Feeney, so a great lap to start. Silos is currently on a lap. And give something natural some TV time as he comes across the Sector 1 split, a 10th down for the time being. Raptor comes across Sector 2, he's not on a lap. Like me or not, he's got a full second, 2 seconds improvement so far here in qualifying. Off the exit of 10, some traffic in front of him, gonna pull to the inside, let him through, staying on the racing line into the braking zone of turn 11. All the way down into 4th gear. He's still got quite a bit of battery to play with here. Through turn 12, 13, and 14 we go. Into the braking zone of 13. Uses a lot of the curb on the inside there. Now he's going to try and carry that speed off the exit of turn 14. Opens up that DRS flap, making a run towards the line we go. Is he going to jump up the board? He jumps up into the P10 position for himself. Peak Hour is on a lap here as he's making his way through Sector 2, heading into the turn 9. Got that DRS flap wide open, burning that battery into the braking zone. It's going to be a quick left-hander, and then another right-hander we are. Comes across the little kink there in the road as he's making his way into turn 11, down into the heavy braking zone. Now he's going to make his way, gets a little bit of oversteer off the exit of 11 into turn 12, and now into the braking zone of 13. A little bit of a lockup, cuts the inside circuit, and he is going to have to figure out what to do here. Invalidated his lap time, pulls to the inside. Silos is currently not on a lap, sitting in P4. LB the Goat is on a lap. He does have traffic in front of him of the Ferrari. now into, oh, they changed the Ferrari and the Haas UI, so I can actually determine who's who now. In through turn 12 and now 13, down into second gear we go, off the exit of turn 14. Gonna open up this DRS flap. Is he got any sort of improvement to contend for the pole position? Heading to the line we go, 52 thousandths down on his time, not enough to improve. Let's see here. Copa making his way through. And Osmanian Devil, what a lap. Put himself up on pole position with a 116.738 provisional pole for Osmanian Devil. So a great lap by him. Copa is making his way through Sector 2. He's 81 thousandths of a second down on his time. Now off the exit of turn 10. Really got some oversteer and a slide. Off of turn 10, a great save into turn 11. I believe that is going to cost him some time though, as he's now making his way into turn 12 with 13 and 14 right in front of him. Into turn 14, going to open up the DRS flap. He's got it wide open, burning the rest of the battery he can. He's making a run towards the line. He's going to come across 115.5. And he's sitting in the P5 position, not even 200ths of a second off the back of Silos. So Silos is going to be looking for some time here as he's going into the braking zone of turn 11. If it looked correctly, he was up on his time. Through turn 12, pretty low on fuel, barely kept it within track limits. We got 2 minutes to go in this session. McLaren Abonga gets out of the way. Or Osmanian Devil, my apologies. In towards the line, and he's going to come across a second off on the time, unfortunately for him. Mr. Miller making his way through Sector 1, 4/10 up on his time after turn 6 and 7. Going to make his way through Sector 2. The kickstart Sauber goes to the left-hand side of the circuit. Now he's making his way through turn 8 into the braking zone. Izzy up. Beanie with another fastest lap at a 115.4. Gotta plug my controller in here. Mr. Miller's now making the run in toward turn 11. All the way down into third gear, off the exit. Barely keeps it within the track limits. Now through turn 12. Same thing there. He's got that car right on the edge of the limits here. Heading off the exit of turn 14. He's going to try and carry as much speed as he can. Towards the line we go. And he gains 0.8 on that and moves himself into the second row in P3. Let's see here. My apologies on that. I had to join a party chat so everybody didn't have to listen to my commentary. Raptor jumps up into P8 with a 117.9, so solid lap from him. Inside the top 10, that's exactly what he wanted. Abdul's still in the pit. Peak Hour is making his way through to get ready to start another lap, I believe. Like me or not, coming through Sector 2. Is he going to be up on the time at all? He is not. He's nearly 0.7 of a second off his time there. On board with LK in the HP Ferrari as he's making his way through Sector 2. Oh, he gets really wide there off the exit of turn 8. And now he's going to come through into turn 9. See if he's gained. He's 1.5 up on his time for the time being through turn 9 and 10. Keeps the car under control off the exit of 10, making his way toward turn 11. Heavy on the braking at about 50 meters all the way through. Heading into turn 12. And then off the exit of turn 13, the car seems to be very stable. Qualifying is currently over. Is LK going to be able to contend for a top 10 position here to start? Comes across the line, gains 2.5, but not enough. And everybody else currently looks to be all done with qualifying except for GC Adventure as he's coming across the line now. And he improves, but not enough to get himself leaped up the leaderboard. And there you have it, folks. That is your qualifying here at Albert Park Circuit in Australia. 18 minutes, and you see Feeney up top with Osmanian Devil in second, Mr. Miller in third. And we're just waiting on Natural's car to get put into the garage, and then we can proceed on here into the Grand Prix. So again, you got Feeney, Osmanian Devil, Mr. Miller, LB, and Silos rounds out your top 5. Comacopa, Bonget, Raptor, Natural, Abdul in the top 10. Peak Hour, LK, Like Me or Not, Matthew, GC Adventure, and TMM Racing will round out your 16 driver grid tonight here in Australia. Looks like we're going to have a dry start to the Grand Prix in Australia. It's going to be about 3 minutes so everybody can get their strategies and their final setups into play, and then we will get going. In the meantime, I will be right back. Alright, we have gotten the countdown. We are going to be beginning to start the Grand Prix here in Australia. The Pro Tier drivers, 16 cars on the grid. Feeney had taken pole position for the evening, and we are getting ready to roll. There is no formation lap, so we will be going green flag right off the start. So just stay tuned, and I'll be right back. All right, here we go. We got 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in Australia, and the lights are out, and away we go. And you have Feeney with a bad start, Komakopa with a great, whoa, something happened here. Not exactly sure what's going on, but Komakopa is actually in the middle of the grid, sitting like 4th or 5th. My leaderboard is completely messed up. Feeney is currently leading the Grand Prix with Osmanian Devil followed right behind in 2nd. Red Bull DL the GOAT in 3rd. Hopefully it fixes itself. Indeed it does. Komakopa dropped all the way down to P6 after turn 1. Very unfortunate from him. And it looks like he's doing okay here. Nobody is directly on attack for the time being. And like me or not, has been disconnected from the session. Invite coming. I don't have him as a friend. Nope. I don't have like me or not. Feeney already with a 3-second time penalty on the opening lap of the Grand Prix. That's not good. He is going to want to keep it within the track limits. In the meantime, DRS is going to be activated this time through. And Feeney sets the first lap. And here we go. The timing chart is starting to kind of fix itself. Not quite sure why it hasn't exactly yet. But Abdul gonna have the DRS after turn 7, as we do not get it through turn 14 to turn 1 or turn 2 to turn 3 on lap 2 here. Osmanian Devil is looking to try and close up that gap. You can see your possible tire strategies: medium to hards or medium hards here in Australia. Osmanian Devil now under a second on Feeney, but it looks like he has burned a lot of battery. LB the GOAT within a half a second behind, followed by Stilos, Mr. Miller as well. Mr. Miller just tagging along the back of this. Osmanian Devil trying to put pressure on Feeney. Feeney already has a 3-second time penalty, so that is going to hurt his ability. GC Adventure, oh, like me or not, has been disconnected. And off the exit of turn 14 we go. Sorry, I was checking Discord. Yep, like me or not, still not here. GC Adventure did reset to track. Not good. You don't want to be doing that here in CCRL, as you can get penalized for that. But Osmanian Devil still on the rear diffuser of Feeney. Feeney does have that 3-second time penalty already. Mr. Miller is looking to go around the outside of turn 3. That gives him the inside through turn 4. And now he is falling outside of the 1-second DRS range to LB the GOAT in front of him in the Red Bull. Off the exit of turn 7, is Osmanian Devil going to be close enough to put any pressure? Abdul with a 3-second time penalty already. Osmanian Devil's looking to try and put some pressure on Feeney here to open up the Grand Prix, but Feeney is looking like he's got quite a bit of pace today. Silos has closed up to the back of Mr. Miller once again as we're making our way through Sector 2 into Turn 11. Is he going to go for the move down the inside? No, he's not. He's not close enough for that. But Komakopa sitting in the P6 position, falling behind. We're going to pull up the tire compounds here. Have very few hards to start the Grand Prix. Everybody else on a set of medium tires. And pull up your biggest movers so far. Abdul up 2, Raptor up 3, Peak Hour up 2, and unfortunately Natural has lost 3 positions on the start of the Grand Prix. Silo's still trying to put pressure on Mr. Miller in front of him here as we come off the exit of turn 5 and off the exit of turn 5 now, making our way towards 6 and 7. 7/10 of a second is separating Feeney from Osmanian Devil, and LB the GOAT is 7/10 right behind there. Okay, with a 3-second time penalty for track limits as well. Silo's almost fallen out of the second range, but he is on a set of white wall hard tires as Mr. Miller is on a set of yellow wall medium tires. Abdul is trying to keep up with Komakopa as they're both on a set of medium tires, trying to close up that gap to the back of Silos here, sitting in that P5 position. GC Adventure with a 3-second time penalty. Osmanian Devils under a half a second now on Feeney here as we're making our way through the final corner of turn 14. DRS Clap is going to be wide open to make that long run down the start-finish straight into turn 1. And it looks like Silos was able to get by Mr. Miller. Osmanian Devil was not close enough to put the attack on Feeney, just kind of following behind and saving some ERS for the time being into the braking zone of turn 3. And it looks like everybody's going to get through nice and cleanly. Mr. Miller is trying to hang on to Silos here on lap 5. He's within almost falling out of a second range. Komakopa has found some pace, and he's gotten back within a second of Mr. Miller here to challenge for the top 5 position. Bongit sitting down in 8th place in that McLaren. Peak Hour in 9th. Natural in 10th, Raptor in 11th, and we got a battle going on for the lead here as Osmanian Devil overtook Feeney going into turn 9. Let's see, can I see you online now? Give me 1 second. And Feeney is within 6/10 here. Osmanian Devil is leading on lap 6 here at Australia as we're making our way into turn 3. And the pressure is still on here on Osmanian Devil. Feeney, though, has a 3-second time penalty, so the pressure is really on him as he's now sitting in 2nd place. And that would potentially bump him down into P4. Mr. Miller's trying to put the pressure back on Silos here as we're making our way through turn 8. Silos in the Mercedes, the Alpine, and then the Aston Martin of Komakopa has found the back of these rear diffusers of the 2 cars in front of him. Making our way into turn 9 and 10. And he's closed right up to the back of Mr. Miller there going into turn 9. As now we're heading towards turn 11. Is Mr. Miller going to peek down the inside? No, he's not. But Bongit was able to get past Abdul here going into turn 11. And it looks like the Red Bull of Abdul goes a little wide there off the exit and then really wide off of 13. Trying to keep it out of the racing line here for the time being. A battle up in the front, side by side through turn 1 and 2. Some wheel contact here. Going down into the braking zone up turn 3. Is Osmanian Devil going to try and hold it down the inside? No, he slots right in front of LB the Goat, the Red Bull. As we're now making our way through turn 4 and 5. Mr. Miller gets by Komakopa and then unfortunately loses the car into the inside wall. And that's going to be some wing change for him there. Back up to the front though is Osmanian Devil's going to have DRS on Feeney. He's looking to go around the outside. And he completes the move on Feeney into turn 9. And there we have it. Osmanian Devil has taken the lead once again. As making our way through the penultimate corner into turn 14. Off the exit of 14, everybody's keeping the car nice and stable, heading down the long start-finish straight. Osmanian Devils opened up an 0.8 of a second gap over Feeney, but the DRS is going to pull him a little bit closer. Komakopa trying to put the pressure on the Mercedes in front of him as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. Bongit following behind, nearly 3.8 seconds back. Abdul and Peak Hour side by side into turn 1, and it looked like Abdul got the best of Peak Hour there on the inside. Matthew did get by Mr. Miller as Mr. Miller had a spin off the exit of turn 4 and needs a new front wing change. Natural here, putting the pressure on the Haas driver in front of him as we're making our way through sector 2. Back up to the front though as Feeney's got the DRS on Osmanian Devil going around the outside into turn 9. And it looks like Osmanian Devil goes a little deep there. Comacopa makes a move on Silos as well on their exit of turn 10. LB the Goat was peeking down to the inside of Osmanian Devil going into turn 11. Not close enough to make a move. Comacopa did maintain position on Silos here in that 4th place. Natural down to the inside into turn 11. Forces the Haas a little wide onto the grass, and that did compromise his braking point. So it looks like Natural moves up into the P8 position in the Alpine. Up to the front we go. Osmanian Devil has lost that position to Feeney into turn 10 on the last lap. Is Osmanian Devil going to look to put that attack on him once again and make that move? He gets a little bit of a wheel spin off the exit of turn 3. Making our way through 4, trying to keep it within track limits, but at some point these tires are going to start to go. Silos on the hard tires waiting for a good crossover point from the hards to the mediums. And who's that's gone around? That is LB the Goat has gone around off the exit of turn 7. That's very unfortunate for him. And that is going to bring out a virtual safety car here on lap 9. And so everybody's going to be regenerating those batteries, cooling their tires down. We got GC Adventure dives into pit lane. Through turn 11. And now we are under that virtual safety car. And virtual safety car has gone away pretty quickly here on lap 9. Feeney really bad exit off of turn 13, trying to avoid a drive-through penalty. Comacopa though 3 seconds back. He's going to be looking to close up the gap, even though he had Silos putting the pressure on him down to the inside. Silos goes and overtakes Comacopa into the braking zone of turn 1, and he is now moved inside the top 3. Abdul has spun off the exit of turn 13, it looks like, and he's fallen back in the grid. Raptor got overtaken by Peak Hour, and Natural looks like he also is a part of that as well. Matthew and Abdul battling side by side into turn 1, and it looks like Abdul is going to get the best of that one to move up into the top 10. Osmanian Devil has not let Feeney out of his sight since lap 1. And now he's closed right back up to the back of him again. Raptor has overtaken Peak Hour as they're making their way to Sector 1 split. And Raptor is up that position. Bonget has made it past. Oh, and it looks like Silos has missed turn 10 or something. Got a little around, so that's going to compromise him as he was looking pretty solid on those hard tire compound. Now Osmanian Devil right up to the rear diffuser of Feeney. Around the outside he goes, stays on the racing line into the braking zone of turn 1. Overdrives the corner just slightly. And it looks like Feeney is going to get a toe down into turn 3. Not close enough and not enough as he doesn't have the DRS due to Osmanian Devil maintaining that. Comacopa sitting in the top 3, making his way off the exit of turn 5 now. He's got the straight in front of him heading towards turn 6 and 7. Down the field we go. We got LK looking to put the pressure on Peak Hour. Going into turn 3. Not close enough. Feeney is going to get around Osmanian Devil once again in Sector 2 into the braking zone of turn 9. These two are battling awfully hard here in the first half of the Grand Prix. Making our run into turn 11 we go. And it looks like Osmanian Devil is going to follow once more across the line and look to use the DRS to his advantage down into turn 1. Komakopa sitting 4.7 seconds back. Off the exit, Osmanian Devil must have been struggling through the exit of turn 13. He is going to use that DRS though. It is going to help him close back up to Feeney going into turn 1. Keeps him within that DRS. Pika Hour is under attack from LK. Was looking around the outside into turn 12. Whoa, whoa, what's going on here? We got some side-by-side action into turn 3. Not exactly sure how that happened, as Osmanian Devil was 6/10 of a second behind off the exit of turn 2. Gonna follow along with them. Peak Hour dives into pit lane. Matthew and Abdul battling down into turn 1. And it looks like Abdul is still trying to fight to keep himself inside that top 10. We got some time penalties going on here. Raptors under pressure from LK now. Osmanian Devil trying to go around the outside of turn 9. Got the inside of turn 10. That's probably going to give him a slight track limit warning there. Heading towards turn 11. Stay on the battle with the two leaders here. As we make our way into the braking zone of turn 12. Oh, Osmanian Devil gets a little bit of an oversteer and some rear wheel spin. Gonna keep it on the track, but here comes Komakopa though. Komakopa's now within 1 second of Osmanian Devil. LB the GOAT has made a move on Matthew there. Puts himself back inside the top 10. Natural is going to have to defend off from the charging Red Bulls, and that was Abdul going extremely wide. And he's going to cut off his teammate there and then goes really wide once again. And it looks like he's going to dive into pit lane is the Alpine of Natural. Matthew stays out, and so doesn't the GOAT. Komakopa within a half a second of Osmanian Devil here. Off the exit of turn 8 we go. Gonna get ready to open up this DRS flap as we're making our run towards turn 9. Komakopa around the outside into turn 9, and he is going to overtake Osmanian Devil to get himself inside the top 2. Now he's got to find 3.3 seconds of pace to catch up to Feeney here. As making our way through turn 11 and turn 12, Osmanian Devil still inside the top 3, and they're trying to get within 3 seconds of Feeney to take the victory. Both of them dive into pit lane. Actually, your top 3 leaders are going to go into pit lane. Bongit stays out, but he gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, and then smashes the inside wall with his rear tire. Silos is now trying to put the pressure back on Bongit after that big mistake, and he's got some time to make up. He is on those hard tires though, so he can run a little bit longer than the medium runners that all just came out of pit lane. Right about now they're coming out of pit lane, and they're going to come out in P3, 4, and 5. LB the GOAT is moving his way back up the field. Silos down to 1.9 seconds on Bongit in front of him. Feeney with another 3-second time penalty. So that is 6 seconds in penalties to Feeney. That is not going to do him very good by the end of this Grand Prix. Osmanian Devils now still trying to put that pressure on Komakopa here. Is he going to be close enough? No, he is not. Making their way off the exit. Let's see here on tires. Everybody onto a set of hard tires. Got some guys out there. Osmanian Devil makes a move on Silos into turn 11, and he jumps back up into the P4 position. But that does compromise him a little bit in time. Feeney's really struggling. Not exactly sure what's going on with him as he goes wide off of turn 13 into his entrance of turn 14. Bongit is coming out of pit lane. Osmanian Devil's going to jump him. So doesn't Komakopa. 2.5 seconds to Feeney now. We got Osmanian Devil right behind him, trying to find some more pace. He's actually climbing down on that time. He's catching up to Feeney. That'll be the goat around the outside of Bongit and not there. So it looks like Bongit's going to maintain that position. He does have a set of cold tires on right now, so he needs to get them up to temperature real quick if he wants to be able to defend off the drivers behind him. Komakopa does have that DRS to Osmanian Devil in front of him. Making our way through Sector 2. Komakopa does get by Osmanian Devil. LB the goat down the inside of Bongit. And it looks like he is going to take that position away from him as well on a 5-lap old hard tires. In through turn 11 we go. Komakopa still going to have DRS on Osmanian Devil. Osmanian Devil has lost about 3/10 to Jay Feeney in front of him. Bongit's going to have the DRS to LB the GOAT, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move down into turn 1. Komakopa is not closing up that gap into turn 3. Mr. Miller gets by Matthew as Matthew dives into pit lane. Peak Hours looking to put the pressure on the natural here to put himself inside the top 10, which they should do that as soon as they pass Matthew in pit lane. Peak Hour down to the inside of Raptor, and he does take that position away. Up into the P9 position he goes. Back up to Komakopa as making our way through the Sector 2 DRS zones of turn 8, heading into the braking zone of turn 9. And we go through turn 9 off the exit of turn 10. Another DRS zone leading us towards turn 11. And is Komakopa going to try and make a move? No, he is not. He's going to continue to follow behind. Trying to let Osmanian Devil catch up to Feeney here. Feeney is almost caught up to the rear diffuser of Silos. Silos is going to dive into pit lane. LB the GOAT does get by Bongit once again. Bongit goes a little wide. Komakopa is within 3/10. Is he going to be able to make a move going into turn 3? He does set the fastest lap that previous lap as well. Into turn 3 we go. Still battling for the second place, potentially the win, as long as they can stay within 6 seconds of Feeney in front of them. Making our way into turn 6 and 7, Peak Hour, and Raptor KK still battling back here as well. Komakopa is going to get ready to open up the DRS flap. He's within a half a second. Abdul with a 3-second time penalty. Into turn 9 off the exit of 10, and Komakopa is going to get the DRS. He's awfully close this time. Is he going to be close enough? LK with another 3-second time penalty. It's like 6 seconds in time penalties for him. Through turn 12 into 13 we go. We are over halfway in this Grand Prix with about 13 laps to go. Off the exit of turn 14, heading towards the line. Down to 11 laps to go. Jay Feeney is leading by 2.5 seconds, but Osmanian Devil has found a half a second on him that lap. Mr. Miller through is not going to maintain DRS down into turn 1, but Komakopa is really trying to put this pressure on Osmanian Devil as we're making our way through turn 3 and 4. Osmanian Devil 2.5 seconds off the back of Feeney. Feeney has 6 seconds in time penalties. We're going to pull up the penalties real quick. 6 seconds in time penalties for Feeney. 6 seconds for LK. 6 seconds for Abdul. The remaining drivers are Bongit, Mr. Miller. All have 3 seconds. Komakopa does get the DRS though, making a run down to the inside, potentially on Osmanian Devil. He peeks to the inside, not close enough. And he's going to slot right back behind him off the exit of turn 10. Komakopa seems to be struggling to find a place to make the move on Osmanian Devil. Mr. Miller within a second of Silos in front of him, using that DRS to pull himself much closer than where he is for the time being. Raptor all over the rear diffuser of Peak Hour, goes around the right-hand side of him into the braking zone of turn 9, and he completes the move up into the 8th place position. Okay, within a second of Peak Hour now, he's starting to close up that gap. Back up to the front as Comacopa's trying to put the pressure on Osmanian Devil. Down in through turn 3 we go. Off the exit of turn 5, heading into turn 6 and 7. And it looks like these two are going to battle it all the way down to the wire potentially, because they are closing up to Feeney. They're starting to catch him down to 2.2 seconds. Was as low as 2 seconds, but down to 2.2 seconds. And they're starting to close up to that rear diffuser of Feeney here. Purple sector 2 for Comacopa, so he is finding a lot of pace. Not close enough to get into the braking zone of turn 11 to go alongside Osmanian Devil. They see the Haas driver right in front of them. Get rid of the penalties here. Biggest movers after the pit stop. Up 5 for Raptor, up 3 for Comacopa with a potential to challenge for the victory. LB to go up to maintaining his position. Bonga it up 2. And Mr. Miller up 4. Raptor up 5. Gonna jump back up to the front though as we're continuing on with this battle between second and third place of Osmanian Devil and Comacopa. Mr. Miller's got the DRS on Silos down the long start-finish straight. He's not going to be close enough to make that move. Bonga is within a second of LB the Goat. Goat back up into the P4 position after he made an early mistake with a spin in the first stint that he had. Comacopa is now going to be looking to make the move. Around the outside he goes of Osmanian Devil. The Aston Martin is now up into the P2 position. And now they're going to be really looking to dial in the pressure on Feeney. Down to 1.8 there through turns 9 and 10. And here comes Comacopa. He's down to 1.6, 1.3 now, and he's really starting to catch him. Osmanian Devil has closed up back to that rear diffuser though of Comacopa. If these two work together nicely, they can catch Feeney and win the Grand Prix on the circuit. But we will have a battle for the victory at this time being with that 6-second penalties that Feeney has. Comacopa sets another fastest lap. Going to give him another point in the standings. Natural does make the move on Peak Hour, and he put himself inside the top 10. But here comes Abdul looking to go around the outside in towards turn 11. Osmanian Devil and Comacopa are still battling, and actually we got Bongit battling as well. Comacopa goes a little wide off the exit of turn 4, but it looks like Osmanian Devil is going to get back into that P3 position. This fighting has cost him 1.4 seconds in time to Feeney in front of him. They're not passing on the straight, they're trying to pass in the braking zones, and that is costing them time to the cars in front. Comacopa does get by Osmanian Devil. And now he's going to get the DRS once again off the exit of turn 10. This is going to allow him to find some more time here as making our way down into turn 11. Not really a whole lot done there though. LB the Goat is putting that pressure on Bongit here as they were fighting through turn 1 on the previous lap. But now it looks like LB the Goat is going to peek down to the inside. Not close enough to make that move. Mr. Miller has got the DRS on Silos in front of him, who's in that P6 position. Back up to the front, GC Adventure with another 3-second time penalty. Comacopa is going to try and hold off Osmanian Devil going into turn 3, and it looks like he does just that. LB the Goat is not close enough to make the move into turn 1 on Bongit. He's lost a lot of time, and we actually got a virtual safety car. Not exactly sure what that was from. And it looks like I figured it out. Mr. Miller made a big mistake off the exit of turn 13. No front wing, has to dive into pit lane. Everybody else is going to stay out for the time being. Komakopa's really lost a lot of time to Feeney here under the virtual safety car. He's going to want to get that car moving because he does not want to be outside that 6-second range. And we're back to green flag, and they are all the way down. Actually, that's really compromised Feeney, but if they maintain, Bongit just got passed by LB the GOAT. Now LB the GOAT up inside the top 5, more or less into 4th place. GC Adventure did get a 10-second time penalty for speeding into pit lane. Here we go off the exit of turn 14, coming towards the line. Feeney's going to complete lap 22. Komakopa is 3.8 seconds back. Bongit is now going to be close enough to make a move into turn 1 as we come off the exit of turn 14. You see both of them. The DRS flap opens wide for Bongit down to the inside. He's going to make the move into the braking zone. We go. And Bongit has maintained into that 4th place position. And it looks like these two want to continue to battle. Tasmanian Devil sitting here. Now less than 4/10 off the back of Komakopa. GC Adventure did retire from the session, so that's very unfortunate for the Racing Bulls. Tasmanian Devil is still under pressure from Komakopa. These two are battling for the victory based on time penalties here. LB the GOAT. Okay, with a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Raptor is looking to put that pressure on LK in front of him here as they come off the exit of turn 8. Opens up the DRS flap. The Racing Bulls driver goes to the right-hand side. Nearly made contact with the Ferrari there as they make their way into the braking zone. And it looks like Natural's going to make a move on LK as well. And had to kind of slightly back out between turns 9 and 10 there as he got pretty close. Mr. Miller makes the move around the outside of Matthew. Into turn 9 we go. Komakopa still putting that pressure on Tasmanian Devil here as we're making our way through Sector 2 now into turn 6 and 7. And we got the long straight here. DRS flap is going to be opening up here. And it's got a wide open. Tasmanian Devil's leaving that inside line wide open. And there goes Komakopa. He goes through. And they're going to be swapping here to maintain inside that 6-second penalty window of Feeney here. With on lap 24 of 29, Natural down through the inside of Raptor. Raptor's going to try and hang it around the outside to get the inside of turn 4. Got a little bit of a wheel bang and oh no! And Natural seems to have gotten a lot of a spin off the curb there, off the exit of turn 5. Going to try and get that car situated. Tasmanian Devil has that DRS on Komakopa in front of him. 3.1 seconds is the separation to Feeney in front. Into turn 3 we go. Peak Hour makes the move on LK down into turn 11. He had that move done well in advance. And now we're making our way through 6 and 7. Tasmanian Devil still 3/10 back off of Komakopa. He is going to get that DRS here. Opens it wide and he's going to go looking around the outside of Komakopa. And he's going to complete that move into turn 9. Komakopa is not going to have DRS down into turn 11. LB the GOAT does have DRS on Bongit in front of him. Is he going to make a move? No, he's not going to be looking to make the move down the inside. He's going to continue to follow, see if he makes a move into turn 11. He's closing up that gap pretty quickly here. Peeks to the inside into the braking zone and drives it really deep. Forces Bongit to go wide off the circuit. And that gravel trap has caused him to spin. CeeLo's back inside the top 5. Bongit down in P6. Komakopa's got the DRS on Osmanian Devil heading into turn 3 with about 3 laps to go here. And we still got a battle for the victory. Making our way through turn 6 and 7. Nearly a half a second back is Comacopa. Gonna try and save his battery here. If he was smart, he would save the battery, preserve it all the way until the last lap, as these guys are well within that 6-second time penalty here of Feeney. So Comacopa's got perfect position if he's looking to contend for the victory. All he needs to do is just maintain the consistency through the final few laps and then look to pounce on that final lap. No other battles going on the circuit except for the battle for the win. And here we come off the exit of turn 14. There's a Ferrari goes into pit lane. That is going to be LK, and he retires from the session. Comacopa is still within that 1 second reach of Osmanian Devil, but Osmanian Devil's looking to try and pull out of that 1 second range here as making our way into turn 3. A nice run through turn 3 for Comacopa. He actually carried a lot of speed into turn 3 though. Now we're coming down, heading towards turn 6. Comacopa's still going to be within that 1 second. Osmanian Devil with a 3-second time penalty. That's very unfortunate. That is going to hurt his final finishing position, and now Comacopa can kind of just sit back and relax a little bit here, but he does not want to. He wants to overtake, trying to go around the outside of Osmanian Devil, but wisely chose to back out and use the DRS into turn 11. He's not going to be close enough though. He's going to continue to follow through. And now we're making our way through the penultimate corner here of turn 13. Getting ready to start the penultimate lap is Feeney, alongside Osmanian Devil and Comacopa down the start finish straight. Feeney does have a 6-second time penalty. Osmanian Devil with a 3-second time penalty into turn 1. Comacopa just has to keep the car on the circuit and within the limit in order to take the victory away from the both of them. He goes a little wide there in turn 13. We got 2 laps to go, and we're making our way through sector 1. Comacopa needs to keep it. Feeney with another 3-second time penalty, so that is going to drop him down into 3rd place definitely here, as long as Osmanian Devil and Comacopa can maintain within 9 seconds. But Osmanian Devil has to keep within 6 seconds here if he wants to jump Feeney in the final finishing positions. Osmanian Devil in, here we go, Comacopa down the inside into turn 11, heavy on the brakes, little bit of contact made between both of the cars in through turn 11, and Comacopa has now taken back the 2nd place from Osmanian Devil. Everybody's getting 3-second time penalties at this point in the race. Jay Feeney off the final corner of turn 14. Osmanian Devil needs to maintain, he's actually got to maintain within 9 seconds of Feeney. I thought it was 6 seconds, but Feeney did get a 3-second time penalty on that last lap. Osmanian Devil still trying to put this pressure. TMM going to retire from the session. Unfortunately, it looks like he made a mistake off the exit of turn 6 and 7. And Osmanian Devil does jump Comacopa once again for that 2nd place. We are on the final lap here in Australia. Osmanian Devil's trying to hold off Comacopa behind, but Comacopa is going to get the DRS here as we're coming through turn 8. He opens up that rear flap and he's looking to go. Is he going to make a move here? No, he's not. He's going to close up that gap through turn 9 and off the exit of turn 10. And now we're going to make a run towards the line of turn 11. Into the braking zone we go. And now we got one final corner to go for Feeney, and he's looking to get a great exit off of turn 14. heading towards the line. He's going to take the victory on the track. And Osmanian Devil gets really squirrely. That allows Komakopa to go through his inside. Feeney takes the victory on track, but Komakopa is going to take the victory based on penalties. Osmanian Devil will finish third. Feeney finishes in second. LB the GOAT is holding off the late charge from Silos here. Off the exit of turn 14, Silos is trying to put the pressure on, opens up that DRS flap, using the rest of the battery he got towards the line. LB the GOAT in fourth, with Silos in fifth. And we got Bongit making a run towards the line now. And he's going to finish in sixth place. Raptor making his way through final sector 3 off of 12, 13. And then he got the final corner of turn 14. And across the line, Raptor goes. Mr. Miller's going to follow closely behind. Peak Hour is going to jump Mr. Miller there and take home the 8th place. Mr. Miller comes home in 9th. We're just waiting on Natural, and then Abdul is going to be right behind him as we're coming towards the line. Natural rounds out your top 10. Abdul, not sure what that was for, is going to finish in 12th, I think. Peak Hour comes out as your driver of the day in game. And there you have it. Komakopa takes the victory here with Jay Feeney in second. Osmanian Devil in third. LB the GOAT fourth. Silos fifth. Bong at sixth. Raptor seventh. Eighth is Peak Hour. Mr. Miller ninth. Natural is 10th, Abdul 11th, 12th, Matthew 13th, Like Me or Not, 14th, TMM Racing, LK in 15th, and GC Adventure will round out your grid. Well, that was your race here at the Australian Grand Prix. Next week, the Pro Tier will be taking on the wonderful circuit of Great Britain. We will be going to Silverstone. This is going to be a sprint race, so we will have a full quali with a short quali with a sprint race and then the feature. That will be next Monday night right here on the CCRL channel. I am the Johnny Damon. I hope you all have a fantastic night. And don't forget, tune in on Wednesday night on MMR_hotspot on YouTube. And he will be commentating the Elite Tier on Wednesday night at 10 o'clock as they take on the Albert Park circuit as well. Again, I am the Johnny Damon, and I hope you all have a fantastic night.